Bishop Allan Kiuna's life was as celebrated as it was contested, with his name often drawing both admiration and criticism in equal measure. His rise to prominence as one of Kenya's most influential televangelists came with a series of controversies that shaped public perception of his ministry and personal life. At the center of the debate was his unwavering preaching of the prosperity gospel, a doctrine that emphasizes financial giving as a pathway to divine blessing. While his followers embraced this message as empowering, critics questioned the ethics behind encouraging generous seed planting in a country where many congregants struggled economically. These concerns were amplified by his visibly lavish lifestyle. Bishop Kiuna lived in an opulent mansion in Nairobi's upscale Runda suburb, drove high-end vehicles, and was associated with private air travel, symbols that, to some, seemed at odds with the humility traditionally expected of religious leaders. Public scrutiny intensified in 2016 when reports emerged that he intended to acquire a private jet valued at over Kenya shillings 2 billion as a personal milestone gift. Supporters argued that such an asset would facilitate global ministry work, but critics saw it as an excessive display of wealth. A year later, another incident sparked backlash when a video circulated showing him addressing a congregant's manner of dressing in church. His remarks, interpreted by many as dismissive of the less privileged, triggered widespread debate, even though he later clarified that his message had been about promoting dignity and excellence. Further controversy arose in 2019 when a former church employee filed a lawsuit alleging unfair dismissal and claiming that Jubilee Christian Church, JCC, operated like a family-run enterprise. Although no criminal wrongdoing was proven, the case fueled ongoing speculation about financial transparency and governance within the church. Additionally, some observers criticized what they perceived as an inner circle culture at JCC, where affluent members allegedly received preferential treatment, reinforcing the image of exclusivity. Despite these controversies, Bishop Kiuna's story began far from wealth or influence. He was born on December 10, 1966, at Pumwani Maternity Hospital in Nairobi, Kenya, and raised in the modest and often challenging neighborhoods of Jericho, Maringo, and Kariobangi in Eastlands. These areas, during his youth, were marked by crime and economic hardship. Growing up in such an environment, he developed resilience early, even taking up boxing as a means of self-defense. He was the firstborn child of Joseph Wairi and Lillian Wanjiku, and he grew up alongside his siblings, Esther Wambui and William Maguire.
His early education took him through several Nairobi schools, including Halsa Primary, Uhuru Estate Primary, and Kimathi Estate Primary School, before proceeding to Ofafa Jericho Secondary School and later Parklands Boys High School for his A-levels. A turning point in his life came at the age of 19 when he experienced a spiritual transformation under the mentorship of Reverend Teresia Wairimu. This conversion marked the beginning of his journey into faith, though his initial career path was far from ministry. In 1988, he pursued a certified public accountancy (CPA) qualification at the School of Professional Studies and went on to work in the banking sector as an accountant. However, his ambitions extended beyond the corporate world. Alongside his wife, he ventured into business before eventually feeling called to full-time ministry. In January 1999, Bishop Kiuna and his wife, Reverend Kathy Kiuna, co-founded Jubilee Christian Church, JCC, in Parklands, Nairobi. What began as a small congregation quickly grew into an international ministry with branches in countries such as the United Kingdom, the United States, South Africa, and Burundi. His marriage to Kathy Kiuna was central to both his personal and spiritual life. The two met in December 1993 and married a year later. Together, they built not only a family but also a powerful ministry partnership. Bishop Kiuna embraced Kathy's daughter Vanessa as his own, and the couple went on to have 2 more children, Stephanie and Jeremy. Their journey was not without hardship. In their early years, they faced financial struggles so severe that they were once auctioned and had to sleep on the floor for an extended period. These experiences later became part of the testimony they shared with their congregation. As a preacher and author, Bishop Kiuna became known for his teachings on financial empowerment and personal growth, publishing books such as Living in Financial Distinction and Appointment with Destiny. His influence extended beyond the pulpit, mentoring young pastors and establishing himself as an apostolic figure within charismatic Christian circles. Over time, his success translated into significant wealth, with estimates placing his net worth at around Kenya shillings 5 billion at the time of his death. His assets included a luxurious Runda residence, high-end vehicles like a Range Rover and Land Cruiser V8, and reported access to private aircraft. His ministry also generated substantial income, with JCC reportedly collecting millions in tithes per service. In his later years, Bishop Kiuna faced a formidable personal battle. Around 2018 or 2019, he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a rare form of blood cancer.
He underwent extensive treatment, including a prolonged period in the United States, which he revealed cost approximately $3 million, funded, he said, through divine provision and the support of well-wishers. In December 2023, he publicly declared himself cancer-free, but his condition deteriorated again in 2024. On July 9, 2024, Bishop Allan Kiuna passed away at the age of 57 in Nairobi after complications related to the illness. His death marked the end of a life that had spanned hardship, influence, controversy, and faith. He was laid to rest on July 17, 2024, at JCC Paradise in Kiambu County. In the end, Bishop Allan Kiuna remains a complex figure in Kenya's religious landscape, remembered both for his transformative ministry and for the debates he sparked about faith, wealth, and leadership in modern Christianity.